Good afternoon, traders. It's Danny Riley from MrTopStep. We are day one of the Fed's two-day meeting. And you know what? I'm thinking about taking a different approach to our videos. One, they're easier to do this way. And two, I think I can be more informative, both with the way I'm thinking and what I'm seeing. But anyways, moving forward, that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to leave the videos from the trading floor completely in the past. But we're kind of looking for a new format, and I think that this could be the way to go about it. Anyways, look, I got a couple questions to ask you, and I'm going to refer to my notes. And it's easier for me to do that because I can think out loud. I have a question for you. What happened to all the volume? You know, where have all the traders gone over the last couple of days? And I know that these seem like funny questions, but with what's going on, I think they're relevant questions. With the lowest volume of the year last year and only a 13 handle range in the S&P, and looking like we're going to have some of the lowest volume again of the year, maybe back to back, with only a 10.5 handle range in the S&P. When you break down these volumes and you take out the Globex volumes and you take out the E-mini S&P spreads, and then you take out program trading, we figured that yesterday less than 300,000 futures contracts traded in the outrights. That's like the lowest I can't even begin to go back and look at statistics that show lower volumes than that. But what I wanted to talk about isn't just the Fed's two-day meeting or whether or not they're going to rate hike rates tomorrow or not hike rates tomorrow. I want to talk about a discussion that the Pitbull and I had here yesterday, 2 hours, Pitbull and I, one-on-one. And I want to really get back, I want to get him back in here because what we did is we went over his video that I did when we were at Amherst. And a lot of the things that he said back then are reverberating again. And what I think is it's important to get his views on what's going on here. But in a quick shot, basically, we talked about futures traders like ourselves being outgunned, that the computers are starting to outnumber the humans, and especially on days like what we've seen over the last couple of days. No one can really make any money in this kind of chop. You have to be extremely patient. And again, we're not at all used to these kind of ranges. What's happened here? Well, what's happened here is there's still this cloud hanging over the market about whether or not the Fed will raise interest rates. And if they don't, what will happen? Well, my feeling is still the same. I came on a couple videos last week, and I was very clear about what I was looking for. A complete rally all week long last week, and a rally in almost all this week. And I got my wish. Now, I also put out, like the Pitbull did, 2020 versus the March contract in the S&P. That objective was met. And yes, the futures did sell off overnight. What actually happened was yesterday, despite a buy on the close, the futures sold off into the close. That weak close set up lower prices in Globex overnight and then lower prices this morning. But then the futures sold off and then they held at the 95 level versus the June contract, and they rallied. And that's basically pretty much the way the patterns have fit. Again, I want to talk, I don't want to go too far into this, but I want to talk about the three parts of the trading day. I believe that the first part is Globex. The second part of the trading day is the 8:30 open, and then the third part is whatever the institutions have in store for the late day with their MOCs or their buying or selling. And usually you can get an indication of that, and I've been good at pointing that out when I see it. As far as what I think today, the markets are doing nothing. They can as easily go up a little bit or easily go down. I know that that's probably not what anybody is looking for, but at the end of the day, I want to reiterate, I still think that the markets are going to go up into the March quad wedge. Then the statistics turn negative the first trading day or the Monday after the quad wedge. And that's when I think, again, I want to reiterate, I think that the S&P will be close to or at a short-term high. I don't know about long-term anything anymore right now. I don't know that it pays to think long-term. You've got to follow the trend. As I reiterated many times, and I've done it lately, we're really not here to fight City Hall. If the markets are going up, the trend is your friend. Go with it. don't sit there and try to sell the market when the S&P is in an uptrend. You not only will you lose money, you're missing the bigger picture. I'm not saying that you can't sell big spikes, but at the end of the day, right now, I still believe the trend is higher. Will that last for much longer? I don't think it will. Again, the volumes here today are very quiet. The June S&P just got up to 2005.5, and we just sold back off to 2001 even. So markets are down a little bit, but they're not that weak. As far as this goes, I can't. Excuse me. The markets are up a little bit. As far as this goes, I still think that we just got to get past what the Fed's going to do tomorrow, and then we move into the quad witch. And again, the statistics for the quad witch are good throughout the week, barring whatever the Fed does, and then the statistics turn negative after the March quad, and then you got to start thinking about the walk-away trade at the end of the month and the March quarterly rebalance, which the statistics show have been down 5 out of the last 7 years. So I think with the S&P up this much, I don't think that they'll be marking stocks up at the end of the month. I think they'll be marking them down. Additionally, crude oil is pulled back today. And what we're working on is something very interesting. Crude oil got all the way down, and you can see this. I can't show you right exactly, but it got down to 35.96, and then we got a buy signal right on the 35.96s. I didn't participate. Again, a lot of this stuff has to do with trying to get these videos done, keeping up with Periscope, doing the writing. And again, I want to reiterate, if you want to be a good trader, you have to be focused on what you're doing. You can't have your money out on a chopping block while you're trying to do videos. That said, I'm going to leave it like that, traders. I want to start to do more videos, and I think this is the easier way to do it. I'll talk to you a little later or tomorrow during the day.